Hi, it's Emily. I'm back with some more content. So today I wanted to talk about microaggressions for mixed race people because I am mixed race. Also, I don't mind using the word mixed race. I know some people prefer multicultural or multiracial, but I don't mind mixed race, so I'm going to use that terminology. So this I wanted to create because I've had some experience as a mixed race person that my monoracial friends don't understand, and so this just kept happening over my life. So I decided to go to Google Scholar and look at some of the studies about what are the microaggressions that mixed race people have, because I wanted to know like how common some of these experiences that I had were and if there were any studies on it. Good. There were like 3 studies on it. So I read some of these things and took some of the key points that I also resonated with, and I wanted to talk to you about them because if you are mixed race, I wanted you to also feel like some of these experiences are very normal, unfortunately. Also, I am Japanese and white, and so the experiences that relate to me are very much tied to this identity that I have. And if you are other types of multiracial, then you may have a lot of different experiences from me, but this is just like the things that related most to me. So the number 1 bucket is the assumption of monoracial identity. This comes up all the time. Honestly, I haven't even heard of this being a microaggression until I read the article. Like, nowhere in my studies had I heard that the assumption of multiracial identity is in itself a microaggression for mixed race people. So that was really nice to just read about and to put like more like a very succinct phrase to a lot of the feelings that I was feeling. So this happens when other people, strangers, like people that I see walking around the street, come up to me and they're like, oh, like you must be XYZ race. Like, what, why is that necessary? I don't know. But these things happen to me really often, and more often than not, people are telling me that I'm racist that I'm not. And to me as a mixed race person, this is very, well, just to anyone that is not honoring the identity that I have, and to constantly have random people and friends or coworkers and classmates and teachers say that I'm these races that I'm not, is just icky. It's a microaggression. Well, we shouldn't be doing this. And I think it's really common, depending on how you look and all these things. So another bucket is exclusion of like racial groups, or a lot of like another way to say this is like having to prove you're enough of a particular race. Hopefully, even if you're not mixed race, you've heard about these challenges that mixed race people have because a lot of people talk about them. It's like when I'm with my group of Asian American friends and they say, oh, you don't understand because you're not Asian. And I'm like, what? I thought we were friends. Like that happens all the time. And, you know, even if they don't say explicitly, it's because you're not Asian, it's subtly in the way they act. For example, it's like when I say, they're like, oh, what race are you? Because, you know, they always ask that question. And I say, oh, I'm Japanese. And they'll be like, oh, okay. Like, can you speak Japanese? And I'll say, oh, yeah, I can. And they'll be shocked. They'll be so shocked because of how I look and to what they perceive as what is Japanese. Like, I do not fit that for them. And so just that facial expression, like, shows to me that I'm not what they thought I was, and I am more Japanese than they thought I was. And so that buckets into like the exclusion aspect of like being mixed race. And this also happens in other countries, or like I just went back to Japan recently and I realized like how often the people there assume that I'm fully foreigner, or they don't think at all that I'm any part Japanese. Even when I'm with my mom, who looks fully Japanese and speaks fluently, they don't associate us together, and they'll be like, oh, is this your translator? How are you related? who is this person? Like there's no way in their minds that I'm Japanese. And that's also hurtful because, you know, like I am Japanese. And yeah, this exclusion happens maybe because, again, like there's this norm that you're one race. And if you don't look a particular way or you act a particular way, then you aren't of that race. And so you aren't enough. You know, as we become more aware of like these mixed race experiences, that happens less, but that is the experience of many mixed race people right now. And then the third part I want to talk about is also very, 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 very common. I think in one of the studies, like every single participant had talked about this, which is the objectification that we experience. And it's when, or slash exoticism, it's when people are like, oh, you're so beautiful because you are half this and half that. This happens when I'm like, ever since I was a kid, I've had all my friends around me be like, oh, I want to marry this type of race because then I can have mixed race babies and they're gonna be so pretty like you. And like, what? Like that just objectifies us. It just makes us seem like we are objects, and like that's it. There's more to it. There's no more to it. You are objectifying us. So yeah, those are some of the things that I wanted to talk about.